Arne, everyone was astonished to see a pleasant princess while up on the stairs. Princess Wace was going to see his beloved husband's face for the very time when, all sudden, Prince greeted Prince Arne when he was at the banquet and told her his name was Grand Duke Ternugan Cassian. Princess Arne was astonished by the fact that this man was her Fia here, sitting the beginning of this twisted relationship from that day. 3 Mogo, ago at the Western Embanke. NK Princess Arne Forsadorsi 10K by mother. Other she thinking about King how she didn't care rank with the night and she is now thinking about how to leave this banquet tacitly. Now everyone at the banquet was talking about Pierre Rene and how he didn't again gain. The Duchess is Finher, her she looks angry. Prince Arne is horrified after listening to this. Everyone is talking Ahert being his endower. After listening this Arne is thinking about Mother. That she thought if her Mokachesser, her going gonna be hell for me. Now Princess Arne decided to go to the Sorhist Majesty Kudi can proer. The Emperor was on Feflor. Lor Fra and he sneaked through window. In Dow and she found a man Wimask. The man was staring at Arne, but Arne promptly jumped through the window after listening to his noise. Guard came at the man, rushing, and asked him if there was any problem, but he said no, it was just a cute wildcat. In the next scene, we see Princess Arne looking at the hall. She enters the hall and sees a mask that belongs to no one, so she wears it. After that, the Emperor of the Western Empire, Cichilioniv, enters into the venture. He is also Princess Arne's uncle. As Arne moves forward, she sees her mom talking with someone. She was very angry while talking. After watching this, Princess Anne was horrified and ran from the hall, but her mom was following her accident. She saw Anne's shadow, but she didn't recognize her name and was very scared. Her mom asked who this was. Her mom she wanted to know who she was, so she followed. Princess Arne was scared to death, but then suddenly, a stranger caught her in his arms. She was astonished and confused, and the man said to keep quiet. Princess Arne's mom saw her and mistaken her for someone else. Aaron's mother blushed as she saw a couple together. The stranger told her that she was her dance partner. Princess Arne was bewildered, and she didn't know why this stranger helped her. She asked him why he helped her, and he told her it was interesting. According to Princess Arne, this stranger looks like a foreigner. The stranger nicknamed her Wildcat. Arne's displeased by this nickname and flustered after this. She thanked him for his help and gave her a royal badge as a return gift. The stranger took it, then she moved forward. The stranger was happy to get this gift. His assistant asked her who gave it to him, and he said it's a reward from a cat. Now the Prince of the Northern King is talking to the Western King about this sword master, Rolgosa, the protector of the Western Empire. They're talking about how one person among 100 people can get enough qualifications to be a sword master in history, and most of them were from the Western Empire. He saved many home countries from the threat of being destroyed, and he said he admired the swordmaster so much. The king of the Western Empire asked if you wanted to meet the great swordmaster. Even if I called him, he would never show up, even knowing that the empire could not order him. Now here is a twist. We got to know that Princess Anne is the great sword master. Her Majesty is thinking about how the world will think because she is the protector of the Western Empire. Now the Northern Empire king is thinking about him. In the next scene, the Northern Empire saw Princess Arne caught by his mother, and her mother shouted at her. The Western Empire king asks him about the marriage between the nations. Have you seen any lady that you like? All banquets have been held in the past few days as a promotion for the harmony between the Western and Northern empires, and also as a place for you to find your long-term partner. Cassian said, I don't know, but deep down he was thinking about Princess Arne. And then he showed him the royal badge that Princess Arne gave him. The Western Empire king was shocked after looking at the badge. Cassian says he will marry her. The swordsmen are considered the symbol of the Western Empire, the hero of the empire, the leader of the Golden Dragon, and the one who holds high prestige, Lady Einbrilkt. People love her clan. Arne's mother is yawping at Arne. She is telling her to get married. She's telling her about Cassian and that he's looking for a wife. Her mother is telling blissfully every girl the same age as yours is getting married, and love is wonderful. But Arne refuses to do it. Her mom tells her what everyone calls her in the Empire. She told her that they call her the Empire Mad Dog, but Arne feels proud of it. Her mother sorrowfully tells her she is sad. She's telling her she just wants you to get married. Then Arne tells her that not everyone is different from each other, but her mother tells her that your marriage has been decided. Arne is astonished after listening to this. She asks her who is her mother, says his name is Archduke Ternugan Cassian of the Northern Empire. Arne repeats his name in a listless manner. She arrogantly told her she didn't want to marry a man that she even didn't know, but her mom told her the marriage was already arranged and there's nothing you could do about it. She told her to get to know each other. She flushed and told her she didn't want to meet anyone. She wouldn't get married ever. After this, her mother told her every day to get married. She is praising Cassian in a virtuous manner. She was fed up with this, so she decides to go on a date with the Northern Empire. She thinks about how she can make him reject her. On the date, Princess Arne's mother tells her that she is staying with her and that her father is also coming as a secretary. Arne thinks on his mind that he can't do as he pleases all the other maids making fun of Arne. Arne thinks of any way to escape from the palace. Arne escapes through the window and runs through a horse carriage. She finds herself lucky. She finds the same stranger whom she met at the banquet. The stranger tells her, "We met again." Wildcat Arne tells him she wants him to help her get out of this situation. The stranger agrees to do so, so he asks her destination. He also asks her, "Are you running from a political marriage?" He says he can help her, and he wants her to use him. Princess Anne was astonished after listening to this because she couldn't believe how anyone could help this much. But she decided to accept his offer and ask him to be her boyfriend. Now the stranger agrees to be her boyfriend. In the next scene, we can see Arne and the stranger eating dessert. Now we see Arne thanking the stranger, but Ayn is also getting vicious thoughts. How she made everyone fool. She was thinking it would be better if there was humor that I was with another man spread rapidly. She again thanked the stranger, and the stranger said, "You still don't want to get married? You don't like any candidate?" Arne said that she doesn't want to get married, she wants to do odd things. Now she's thinking about the conversation between her and a married woman. After listening to this, the stranger prayed to God that her wish would come true. As expected, the rumors spread rapidly. Everyone in the empire is talking about Arne's boyfriend. Her father reads this in the newspaper, and her mother is astonished. She even tells her she doesn't mind even if she gets married to her lover. Arne is annoyed by her mother and decides to tell her straight away that she does not want to marry at all. But deep down, her mother is also tired of this, so she said she would get married in 3 months. If you don't, please, with your partner, you can divorce and come back. On the contrary, this is a condition so that you can maximize your anger and live a quiet life. If you don't like that after trying your best, I will not tell you to get married. Arne somehow agreed to the condition. She decided she would kill him if he didn't like her. Now, on to Arne's wedding. The news of Arne's marriage made the Western Empire shoot. Everyone was astonished after listening to this, but the military protested. After listening to this, they told me that going abroad is a huge loss for the military, but the empire refused the protests. Meanwhile, in the Northern Empire, everyone was also astonished at who would get married to Grand Duke Ternuzin. He was the son of the former emperor, and was ranked second in the current line of succession to the throne. The man who wants to beat the crown prince by getting married the position of the Grand Duchess Ternuzin that every girl desires has disappeared. The wind blows strongly in the Northern Empire. Cassian he was calmly doing his work and asked his butler if there were any false rumors going on. His assistant said yes. He got to know that Duke Brilkt had a child who made a big deal, and his nickname is Mad Dog. Cassian asks his assistant what this is about. His assistant tells her that if someone said something wrong about his Mad Dog child, he would hit that man to death. Cassian thinks that man has such a cruel family. He tells himself that's why she is at leisure. At the beginning of the scene, we see him getting fascinated by something. Then suddenly his assistant comes and tells him that the flying boat is coming. Cassian was wondering if he could see her again. Arne's nanny tells her the boat is going to land. You can't kill that man. You can't hit him. You can't use your sword. You can't use your sword every time. You must smile, sneak with a lovely voice, and be graceful and elegant. Arne despondently thinks about what the nanny told her. Now the flying boat has arrived at the mansion. Arne's nanny told her to get off, and they announced the Majesty Princess had come. Everyone welcomed the princess, but Princess was very astonished because he met again with that stranger, but as a fiancé. The stranger tells her his name is Grand Duke Ternuzin Cassian. Arne was dissatisfied. After looking at him, she turned her back against him, going back to the flying boat, and told the nanny we were returning. Everyone was astonished and called her name, Princess Arne, but she didn't listen. Suddenly, Cassian held her hand and pushed her back. Nanny Ball at Majesty is telling him to please treat her as a glass. Her Majesty is fragile. Arne was baffled after listening to this. At the start of the scene, we see Arne's maids finding her and keeping shouting her name again and again. They find Arne on the tree. Eventually we see Cassian also watching her, thinking about how she climbed up there, and telling himself that I am an adoptive cat, not a wife. Arne realized someone is watching at her, so she checked, but she couldn't find anyone. Then she gets down. Her maid called her, but she didn't listen and left. She was hiding from the maid. Cassian saw that, and he surprised Arne from behind. Arne was astonished and asked him, "How long have you been standing there?" Cassian told her, "I just got here." And then she was thinking in his mind why there was no sign of approaching him. She was thinking he also jumped down from the tree like her. Then Cassian tried to tease her and told her, "Do you like me that much? You looked at me with such a penetrating gaze." Arne couldn't find any words to say. Cassian started laughing, and you asked her how she felt after meeting a marriage partner who you thought would not turn out perfect. Arne told him it's a bad idea, as I thought. Cassian tried to console her. Arne thinks in his mind to ask him if he has a mistress, but she can't say it. Cassian asks her if she wants to ask something. After listening to this, I made a reddened face, yelled at him, and told him, "Where did you learn such cheesy phrases? We're not even married yet, and you can't say it that way." Cassian told her it'd happen soon, and he kissed her hand and told her, "It's too late for you to run away." The happenings in Terran Castle were more boisterous than ever. It was because today is the Terran Castle owner's wedding. There was only one reason for that. The maid is crying because Arne is getting married today. Now Arne is talking to her mother with the help of Crystal Ball. Her mother is very happy. She says Her Majesty is going to be present at your wedding today. Arne was astonished after listening to this. Arne told her, "I'm going to get a divorce anyway. How I'm going to deal with the aftermath then?" Amid the conservation, her maid tells her that your makeup is complete. Your Highness, Arne was looking as pretty as a picture. Everyone tells her she's looking very pretty. But deep down, Arne was not pleased. She is thinking she has to do this, even though she doesn't want to get married. Then we see her mother praising her beauty. She's telling her she shines more magnificently when she's dressed, and she congratulates her on having a new family. Arne, she is blushing after listening to this and thinks she can do it because she wants to make her mother happy. Now we see the wedding hall filled with a crowd. Everyone is talking about Princess. They got to know she is from another country, and she is absolutely stunning. Now we see the scene changing. The bride and groom are coming through. Everyone is looking at them and praising them. Deep down, Princess Arne thinks this is the right choice to make. She can't decide what to do. Cassian looked at her and smiled. Arne still looks like she is confused. Now the father asked, "Does the bride swear to love the groom forever?" Arne was looking pale, but she said yes in a faint voice. Now the father asks, "Does the groom swear to love the bride forever?" Cassian also said yes. As the wedding proceeds, father tells them to kiss each other for eternal love. An army face was written at that time, but Cassian instantly goes for it. They kiss each other and the whole crowd claps for them. Princess Arne was flabbergasted when her father announced His Highness Cassian, the Archduke of Terran, and Her Highness Arun are declared a married couple. The wedding reception caused the town of Terran to be uproarious. After the wedding, the Lady Arun came to her and carried her to let her rest. Meanwhile, Arun thinks about her case with Cassian. Her face was completely red. She could not think clearly. When she reached her bedroom, it was embellished beautifully. She is again thinking about the kiss. She can't stop thinking about this kiss and should try to forget about it. Then her maid said goodnight. All of a sudden, she realized it was her first night. She restrained herself from killing her husband on the first night of the marriage. She tried to escape the palace, but Cassian was already there. Is worried Arun. And Arun her asked her what who doing? Aruna wants to avoid tonight, night, so she just lies and tells Cassian that she is have air. Fresh air. Cassian is still suspicious, but Ease Forward holds her hand and tells her to take care of her health. Aren't they thinking about what she next? Do next? She doesn't want to husband. Our husband on the other hand. Cassian worrying about her because Princess Arun is very fragile. He remembers the word of the Arun maid, who told him to take care of the princess. Cassian lifts her to the bathroom. But Princess Arun mistook this as a first night signal, and Cassian told her to rest. Arun was confused. She told him, "What about our first night? Is it really okay?" But Cassian confronted him and said, "Don't think about it. Have a good sleep." After telling me this, Cassian left the room. Arun started thinking deeply about this. She feels like she is being treated like a child and being offended. For the noble, marriage is just a tool. It only has one goal, which is family prosperity. This is the culture of marriage. Therefore, many people thought that the marriage of Archduke Terran would be that kind of marriage until they saw the two of them at the wedding banquet. Everyone was emphasized by this marriage. Everyone was talking about how they are made for each other. On top of that, the Archduchess was absent from the banquet on the first day of their wedding, and the maids of the Archduchess are overprotective of Arun. It was an unusual situation. It does not make sense that the Archduchess was absent at the wedding banquet. There were some rumors going around that the Archduke himself expelled those who looked down on the Archduchess. It causes the misunderstanding to deepen, but the reality is far different from what they are thinking. Alan thought, how did Cassian love her? Suddenly, Cassian asks Alan, what does it mean for a new bride to attempt suicide on her first night? Alan is shocked after listening to this, and he tells Cassian that it could mean that she hates marriage so much she wants to die. Cassian agrees to this, and they both nod to each other. Now that Alan has handed over a magazine to Cassian, Cassian immediately asks Alan in a knowing manner, did Mackenzie give this to you? Alan says yes. Alan asks Your Highness when you are going to meet His Majesty. Cassian says soon. Princess Arun is enjoying her tea in the garden while talking to her mother with the help of crystal ball. Arun was not enjoying this. Arun's mother told her, there's a riot happening on your side. The Golden Dragon Knights went on strike to ask for your return. She told her His Majesty asked her to stop them. Her name was after listening to this, Arun was astonished. Her mother told her His Majesty was very disappointed, and you also did not answer the call. Arun said if you can't reach me, you can call Uncle Sarno. Then her mother told her she hadn't even met with Sarno. Arun did not want to meet Sarno. Arun asks her mom about the strike. She is thinking about what they are thinking. Suddenly, a maid tells Arun His Highness has sent you a present. As usual, Arun thinks of unnecessary things. Then Arun heard a voice from the bushes. She saw someone, and she was astonished. Arun, I was astonished that it was Graven. She tells him he should be in the Western Empire. Why are you here? She asked. She also tells him she did not invite him to her wedding. She is not able to believe what she is watching. But it is real. Then she decided to hide him before anyone saw him. She was very frustrated after seeing Graven. She told him to leave, but Graven refused instantly. At this point, Arun is totally mad. But suddenly she sensed a strong energy from behind, and she thought, who was it? She moved forward to look at this, but she couldn't walk normally with this dress. She tripped and fell, but Cassian somehow showed up, caught her, and asked her, are you alright? Arun, she was blushing, and her face was reddened. It was who was emitting strong energy from behind Arun who was confused about how she could not sense Cassian's presence. Arun thought Cassian could be a master swordsman like herself. Aruna asked Cassian what he was doing here. She thought Graven should not be caught. Cassian asked her about the gift he gave Arun. Arun replied with a rude attitude, referring to those gifts as things. Cassian was not happy with this. In reality, Aruna was not thinking about the gift, she was thinking about Graven. On the other hand, Cassian thought she was not interested in the gifts at all. Suddenly Cassian heard some weird sound from the bush, but Arun's mother distracted him and started talking to him. Arun also takes a deep breath. Cassian humbly greeted Arun's mother's mom. Arne was so embarrassed. Cassian complimented Aruna's mother. He told her she was as beautiful as his daughter. Arne instantly turned off the crystal ball. She again asked Cassian, why are you here? You're supposed to be in your bed working right now. Cassian did not reply to the question but asked another question to Arun. He asked if she's feeling better now. Arun realizes why Cassian asked this question. Cassian asks her again, do you hate the idea of marrying me that much? Aruna felt Cassian misunderstood something. She is thinking about how she could solve the misunderstanding between them. She immediately answered him no. She told him the incident was not that much, and please don't mind about it. But Cassian replied in a very downhearted manner. Now Arun decided to tell him the truth. She said in a stuttered voice that on his first night, she was scared. That's why she planned to run away. Cassian was astonished after listening to this. He laughed to his heart's content and told Arun, I would not have even lifted you. Arun was also astonished after listening to this. Cassian told her to keep this secret between them. Here, we are now seeing Cassian talking about this incident to Alan was not that interested in the incident. Cassian laughed very hard about this, but Alan was creeped out after seeing her laugh so much about it. Cassian shouted, and Alan responded and asked if he could do something. He told him a rat was hiding in our place. Find it out and kill him.